what's up? It's your girl Kim Ray and you're watching Kim Ray Music TV. So if you guys don't know, I used to do a series of Air Force grind, hashtag Air Force grind videos. It was my whole losing weight process. It was my meeting the Thunderbirds and get into the DEP program and MEPS. And then once I got in, I kind of just stopped and left y'all hanging. But that was only because of OPSEC, COMSEC, all these like security type things that they don't want you doing. And you guys notice anytime I get on here and it has to do anything with my military experience, I don't wear anything that's identifiable to where I'm stationed, what I do, anything like that. But now that we got all through that, because this is very hot, I wanted to come on here and start my series of videos. As you guys know, I'm on my way out of the Air Force, but I would be remiss if I didn't come on here and share some tips and share, you know, different things about my experience while I was in. So this video is entitled 10 Tips on How to Be a Successful Airman. So as an airman, you have a few priorities. You know, you got to get through basic, you got to get through tech school where you learn your job. And then when you get to work, you got to do some OJT so that you can get through your CDCs, all these acronyms, right? And that is your only job from E1 to E3, but you know, that's your only job. But you also have more that you have to do. You have to volunteer, you're advised to go to school, you're advised to do all these different things. Who can keep up, right? Well, I'm here to help you out. So this video is obviously not for anyone who's not in the military right now. This is for airmen or NCOs who want to know how to help your airmen or who want to hear from airmen, because I am an airman. Successful tip number 1, PT, physical training. PT for you, PT for me. If you guys have not noticed, the Air Force is cracking down on PT. One of the number 1 reasons why folks are getting kicked out. Now, honestly, if you are hurt, and I'm gonna say this loud for the people in the back, if you are hurt, you have a sprain, something swells for no reason, anything happens, you owe it to yourself to go to medical. And I'm gonna talk more about that later on. But you owe it to yourself to go to medical, get some ibuprofen, because y'all know we love ibuprofen. Get some ibuprofen for that, get it documented, go see a specialist. If you need surgery, get the surgery, physical therapy, get the physical therapy, because what you don't want is when it's time for your PT test to fail it because you have something that's untreated. All right, so, and that's usually what happens, right? So PT, I don't know why it's so hard. I think it's because, you know, in basic, we're all doing everything together, working out together. And then a lot of it they leave up to you once you start in your work and everything. Some squadrons have squadron PT, but for the most part, it's up to you. Well, honestly, if you're working 8 hours a day and going to school and volunteering, PT is the last thing on your mind, especially if you have children, you want a social life. It just gets busy from there. But tip number 1, physical training. Get yourself a regimen, a routine. Get yourself something to where you are in that gym 3 times a week, or you're walking around the block, walking around the mall on Saturday, you're eating your eating habits, you know, you're drinking water. Y'all see a lot of us in the military, we have a gallon or we have a huge thing of water, which most of us don't drink, but most of us do drink. We try to drink it. But get yourself in some type of routine so that when PT tests come around, it's not such a huge shock and it's like so terrible. There's also something called PT test anxiety. A lot of people are great fitness gurus, they eat healthy, they are nutritionists, they are fitness, all of that. But then when it's time for the test, something happens, you realize what's riding on it, and it just becomes hard for you. They should have resources at the med group or at AFRC. They should have resources that can help you, or mental health. And don't think that it's so wrong to go to mental health. If you have test anxiety, you owe it to yourself. I'm gonna keep saying, you owe it to yourself to get it checked out, get it worked out, because PT tests are either twice a year or once a year, and you can't get away from them if you want to be successful in the military. Number 2, get involved with some volunteer work. So if you guys don't know what an EPR is, it is your evaluation performance report. In my job, I review hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those throughout the year, and I see lots of times where people don't get certain award opportunities or promotion opportunities because they simply weren't involved enough. Getting involved is not as hard as you think. It could be working at a animal shelter a couple hours on a Saturday. It could be big brother, big sister. It could be tutoring someone. It could be picking up trash on a highway with a bunch of your other friends for a couple hours. It can be a wide number of things, and depending on where you're stationed, the city that you live in probably offers lots of opportunities. I used to sing the national anthem at various events in the community and on base, and that used to count as mine. I was meeting high-ranking personnel and the mayor and different commanders and networking and meeting a lot of different people. But the one thing that rang true on that EPR is you volunteering. They have a Volunteer of the Quarter award for airmen, and they have, you know, all these things, and volunteer is just not the worst thing in the world. It's just finding the time to do it. If you are with your group of friends and y'all are helping paint a house, by the time you realize it, the day is over, you guys can go have a beer and that's it, right? But volunteer is vital, and I feel like a lot of airmen feel like it's tooth pulling to do it. It's not. Trust me, once you get in it, it's good. You're good to go, and you need it. You need it. You can head something up like a committee within your squadron. If a certain holiday is coming up and you want to do something for Halloween, you want to have a little carnival, get involved with your squadron booster club. Get involved. I cannot say it enough. There's too many times, the reason why I'm doing this video is because there's too many times when people get out of the military, they have nothing to show for it. They haven't networked with anyone. They haven't taken advantage of any education. They've gained hella weight, and now they're just getting out because they're just so fed up. That is not the case here for me. I am getting out because I'm moving on to the next thing in my life, but I am super duper thankful for my opportunity and for God's grace and favor on me while I was in the military. And so I'm sharing it with you. So this leads to tip number 3. Network with other airmen. When you are a brand new airman, you get to your first base, you go to a introductory type thing. It's a week long, full of briefings from lots of different departments. You're in there with all the other new airmen from the base. You know what that means? That's an opportunity to meet, shake hands, get to know all these different people, because what's about to happen at the end of the week, everyone's gonna disseminate into their squadrons, and you'll probably never see them again. You probably never hang out with them again because they don't work with you, they don't do what you do. But if you network, you follow them on Instagram, you get their phone number, when you start needing things, not even just need because it sounds bad, but when you start needing things for a holiday party or volunteer, or you need something like on your job, you need a comm connect, you need somebody on the flight line connect, you need a weather connect. It's good because you already have that social network from your first time at the base. I can tell you right now that I went to that introductory thing 3 years ago. I still talk to most of those people from that week-long introductory thing today because I still need them. We still network, still get invited to birthday dinners, still go out to their stuff. It's something about when you first get into something and you're nervous about something, you develop those connections, they pretty much never leave. Tip number 4. So every active duty member, and I believe Guard and Reserve, receive $4,500 a year, a fiscal year, of tuition assistance. So that means once you finish your CDCs, once you learn your job, you have the opportunity to take classes. So usually you only need supervisor approval for 1, but if you'd like to take more, that could go up the chain to your shirt and to your commander even. But if you feel like you can handle it while working full time, why not push the envelope and get it done? A lot of people don't realize tuition assistance is totally different from the GI Bill, okay? You can use that tuition assistance till you're down to $0, and it's up to you if you want to stop until it renews, or which is every year, or if you want to utilize FAFSA, financial aid, because you can still get Pell Grant money, you can still get student loans, which I hate. But you can still utilize those things if you'd like to finish your education a lot faster. So tuition assistance is free, $4,500 a year. Think about all that money that you could be using for school that you're probably not because you're tired of school, you don't want to go. But if you don't plan on staying in the military, you owe it to yourself to at least take some classes. Take 1 every semester, take 2 every semester. Do what you gotta do to develop yourself. So how you can do that is you need to get with your education office and you need to develop a goal. If that's your community college of the Air Force degree, which is an associate's, if that's your bachelor's degree, most of the time you'll do your community college of the Air Force degree within the field that you're working in. So mine, I got in HR management. But if you're like services, you might get it in food and restaurant, like hospitality. If you're logistics, it might be in logistics. So that's helping you because you already got credits towards it when you were in tech school. Okay, so all you need to do is make sure your supervisor believes that you're proficient enough on the job that you can handle work and school, because work is a priority, Air Force is a priority. But if you can handle both, utilize those resources to take some classes. A lot of you guys, I can hear you right now saying, I'm just gonna use my GI Bill when I go out, I'm gonna go to school, whatever. All right, that's cool. If you wanna do that, that's cool. But that's 4 years on your undergraduate. It's all used up by the end of that. Why do that when you could split it in half, give 2 years to your spouse or to your children, or you could go to grad school like I'm trying to do, like $4,500 a year, which they did not have before, is being given to you. They had to go fight for that. They had to fight for us to get that. So you kind of owe it to yourself to take advantage of it. It's there, use it. Now, if I could, I would take yours, because Lord knows my $4,500 runs out probably about March every year, because I just be using it all, okay, on my classes. Number 5, know your job. That's the ins and outs of your job. One thing I cannot stand, because airmen already have a stigma of being younger, more immature, less experienced, and not knowing much. We already have that stigma, which is hard to get away from because we really don't know much. But it is your job to learn your job. You went to tech school, now it's time to apply it. Now, that does not mean know everything. When I say know your job, I mean know what AFIs and PSD guides and all kind of stuff to reference when you don't know something, and know how to say, sir, ma'am, I'm not sure about that. Let me get back to you. Can I get back to you? What is your number? That means email etiquette. Sir, ma'am, per your request, sir, ma'am, to my knowledge, or good morning, good afternoon, not sincerely, very respectfully. What else? Because I see so many times that a lot of airmen don't know this, and I'm confused as to why. Is it because you don't learn it in tech school? Is it because this is your first job, which is like a lot of the case? But it is important to be a professional at all times on your job. Know those AFIs to reference if you don't know. Know how to get in those AFIs, Control F, find whatever you need to find, print out the reference, give it to whoever it is that you're speaking to. Know customs and courtesies, hands behind your back, parade rest. Sir, ma'am, yes, ma'am, no, sir, no, ma'am, all that, okay? Saluting, you know, it's just, we learn it, but a lot of times we forget it because we start to get comfortable. Those are the airmen that stand out. That's a tip to being a successful airman, is using those customs and courtesies, knowing your job, okay? I'm gonna use an example. You know, a lot of times we call airmen and we're like, hey, can we get help with blah, blah, blah. I don't know what that is. Okay, there's a certain way to answer that. Sir, ma'am, I'm not sure of what that is, but I can place you in a brief hold while I find out. Well, say you still can't find out. You don't know what it is. Now you have to go to your NCO. You go find out from your NCO, you let them know, you transfer them or whatever. Your next job is to read about that, because 9 times out of 10, somebody else is gonna call with the same question. Well, guess what? Now you've already dealt with it, now you know the answer. Build yourself a continuity book. Continuity book is when you take screenshots. It takes some time, it is tedious, but screenshots and different notes of what you do every day for you to reference, for the next person to reference when they get in. Now, if you don't have a desk job, I don't know what to tell you. This is just for my own experience. The 6th tool, the 6th tip is Air Force e-learning. Now, I realize a lot of people don't know about this. It might be going away. It might be brand new. I just found out about it. But the Air Force offers you, this is through the portal. You can only, unfortunately, access it, I believe, as an active duty member. Air Force offers free certification programs just for you. All kinds of courses that you can learn about other things that are not pertaining to your job that can also prep you for the outside. You owe it to yourself. When I say certification programs, I mean Microsoft, Java, IT or Oracle or all these things. Now, are they tedious? Are they probably a bit more advanced, intermediate? Yes, but they're free. They're free. They are free, okay? To you, active duty member. Tip number 7 is utilize your benefits because you work hard for them. A lot of times when we meet, when we have our parents or people before us, any veterans, they utilize their benefits later on down the line because they were serving their country first. And us now, we have that ingrained. Serve your country, serve your country. But you are also given benefits and you should utilize them. But remember that we are serving our country. Remember to be courteous to people. Remember to be compassionate towards people. Because ultimately, people do look at you like you're a superhero wearing a cape. You protect the country no matter how small you think your job is. Whether you're the one flying or you're the one typing or whatever you're doing, you still serve your country. So utilize your benefits because you worked hard for them. Tip number 8, that leads me to go to medical. If you are sick, go to medical. Immunizations, luckily they mark all that down. They make you come, you turn red. Your stuff turns red if you don't go. But stuff like if you have a chest cold, if you have a fever, you need to be in medical because you have 100% free medical insurance. When other people are paying hundreds of dollars a year in a month to have medical insurance, yours is free. So you know what that means? That means that you need to go. If you need glasses, you need to go. If you have back pain, you need to go. You need to get it worked out. Do not sit on your injuries because they only get worse later on. I had to learn this the hard way. My knee, I kept thinking it was nothing. Finally go, it was something bigger than that, okay? Your back pain, stuff even that you grew up with. Now you have medical insurance to get it worked out, to find out what is going on. A lot of older vets, they say, I never went to medical, only if my arm was falling off and I would drag it with me to work. That's funny and all, and it's great and all, but don't listen to it. Go to medical. I know I was annoying with all my medical appointments, but you best believe if something was wrong with me, it is documented and it is being worked out now because you have medical insurance to use it. Number 9, utilize your resources. I was talking about the Air Force portal earlier. That means that homepage that you log into, there's a number of resources on there. Stuff about you specifically, your career field specifically, MyPers, utilize that to find out information on different special duties, AFPC secure applications. You can find out all types of different jobs that you want to do. If you want to do guard for a little bit, you can Palace Chase, Palace Guard. Talk to who you need to talk to. A lot of airmen don't even realize all the opportunities that they could have had before they got out. Utilize them. Utilize them. You owe it to yourself, okay? You can go guard, you can go reserve, you can become an officer, you can do all of these things. All you need is the right resources. All you need is the right form. All you need is the right networking tool, the right connection, okay? Get on MyPers, talk to AFPC, talk to your different peers, talk to your local MPF, talk to people. Airmen nowadays are just working and going home. Stop doing it. You owe it to yourself to find out about where you work, okay? Find out what could be afforded to you. Find out if you just work a little harder, what you could get for yourself, where you could be, who you could lead, who you could be. And the last one is a big one. A lot of people want to know how to promote, okay? All of those things are going to help you be able to promote. They have something called below the zone for E3 trying to make E4 6 months earlier. Now it's very competitive, very competitive. I was put up for it, but I went up against the whole base, and I think it was like 20 or 30 of us from each different unit, but it's very competitive. Unfortunately, I didn't make it, and that was a huge eye-opener for me to realign and readjust my priorities. But you can, okay? You have got to know from jump what you want. You got to set some goals. You got to make some goals. You cannot just be in any job, in anywhere in the world. You cannot just work a job with your head down. You gotta have goals. You gotta have things that you're trying to do. That is how to be a successful airman. How to promote. Present yourself in the most professional manner. Have your bun together. Black girls, I already know the struggle, okay? A lot of people might think this color is not in regs. Can y'all see this? But it's in regs enough, okay? This lip color, I wear this a lot because it just blends right in, okay? This swoop, It's gotta be, and this is just tousled up real quick for y'all, but you gotta take those regs seriously, okay? You cannot be, if it's one thing I can't stand is a airman getting in trouble who don't know nothing about what they're getting in trouble for. Will always respect the NCO who told me I was out of regs this way. Pull me aside. Do not call me out in front of everyone, because now I'm gonna be bitter toward you. Pull me aside. Let me know exactly what is wrong. Okay, at this point I had an A-line bob, so this part was right here and it was tilting down, and then I had a busy swoop. I had a okay, and she pulled me aside, pulled me outside. She said, hey, your hair, I love it. Now if you don't love it, NCOs, don't tell them that you love it. But she did. She said, I love your hair, but okay, it is out of regs. This part right here, it's out of regs. It's too long. Your hair must all be one length. Now, you can pin this up. This is the second part. She offered me solutions on how to fix it. You can pin it up. You can cut it all to the same length, but I'm letting you know it is out of regs. Okay, this is where you can find it in the reg. This is the reg. This is what a reg is. This is where you can find it. This is what's wrong. This is what I suggest on how you can fix it. That is how to be an effective NCO. Okay? So guys, once again, that was 10 tips on how to be a successful airman. I'm Camray and this is Camray Music TV. Be looking out for more videos on this series as I process out of the Air Force. It's been an esteemed pleasure. I wanted to come on in my new OCPs for y'all, but leave all of the stuff off because of ComSec, OPSEC, all of that. But if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Make sure you subscribe down below also to my channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Camray Music TV. Like the video, share the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Feeling when you finally take that butt out.
Your hair, skirt. Can you imagine if we could wear our hair like this? I would know we're getting done.
Bye.